Hi guys, welcome to my car. So today it is time for another seasonal video, which is fall. So I wanted to talk to you today about some of my favorite things about fall and ways that you can really savor and enjoy the fall season. So I wouldn't necessarily say fall is my favorite season, but I do get really excited when it starts to turn to fall. I like to see the first leaves. I like to feel that first fall feeling where it's not like summer warm outside. It's a little bit chilly, and it doesn't feel like summer chilly either. It feels like fall. And so I do really enjoy that, and it's the beginning of lots of good things for me. So without further ado, let's get into my list. So one of the things that I love about fall and love about getting ready for fall is that it's sweater season. So summertime, I like to do dresses and, nice breezy things, but when it's fall, it's all about cozy. And that's one of the things that I really do love about fall is that it's such a cozy season. So it's about sweaters and boots and, all those good things. So it is time to pull out your sweaters and your hoodies and your jackets and figure out all kinds of ways to make those cute, and scarves and all of that. And then long jeans, boots. If you need some new boots, get some new boots. I was just telling Nathan it's about time for me to get some new boots. So, it's a great time to kind of start gathering all of your fall clothes. And the really fun thing is, because it's been summertime, there's such a vast difference between what we have been wearing in the summer. So you get all those things out and you're like, oh, I have this thing and I have a poncho and that thing, and it's really fun. So there's that to love about fall. And then also something that is a really big part of fall for me is the sense of fall. So I love to do some scent shopping at places like Yankee Candle, Bath and Body Works, and just all of your favorite scent shops, Root Candles, anything like that, and getting all of the fall scents. So there's this one scent that I really like by a place called Crossroads, Warm Pretzel. I love that candle, and I burnt it out last year and I need another one. So that's a good excuse to go candle shopping. And I really do like candles for the fall because it gives you, again, it's all about cozy. It gives you that nice warm glow as well as the scent. But I do use like scent warmers and plugins as well. Apple scents are fantastic for the fall, and anything that's like woodsy and nice and good. So I love getting my fall scents out when the seasons change. Another thing is warm apple cider. So apple cider is good all by itself, but I do really like warm apple cider in the fall months. And once it starts to get chilly, what I actually like to do is use my little mini crock pot that you see me use all the time, and put some apple cider and or even just apple juice. You can use just apple juice, and some spices in there, some cinnamon, some clove, some allspice, nutmeg, even ginger, and just put them in my mini crock pot and put it on low when I leave in the morning for work. And then when me and Nathan come home at night, we've got hot apple cider to greet us, which is really fun. Makes the house smell good and just makes you feel all nice and warm and toasty. So swap out your iced teas and your lemonades with something warm and cozy like warm apple cider, or something like, a hot latte, anything like that that's got those warm, cozy feelings and scents included with it. And then leading into that, I also love bringing the fall into my cooking. So in the upcoming weeks, I'm going to be sharing with you some recipes that I think really work well for fall. And I really like to use fall flavors as well as fall colors, just in my cooking and in my baking. So for baking, apples is the way to go. So I posted before a video on baked apples. I like to make that in the fall. Is one of my favorite things for apple season. There's all kinds of yummy things that you can do with apples: pies, cakes, applesauce, apple butter, which I will be posting my apple butter recipe soon. So that is really something fun to make for the fall. But you don't have to stop at apples, obviously. There's so many more things that you can do. Anything that's got those warm spices in it, pumpkin spice, anything that has those spices that are included in pumpkin spice, which would be like ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, allspice, those things, they're warm spices. So they actually kind of do warm you up in a way, but they also are associated with this season. So they give you this warm, cozy kind of feeling, but for your taste buds. So anything that you're making or baking with those spices, I mean, even if you're making ice cream, if you've got those spices in there, you know, it's adding a fall element to it. Think apple cider. You can do an apple cider syrup on top of ice cream. Pumpkin, obviously, you can put pumpkin in just about anything and make it automatically autumn. So those are really fun ideas to play with for the fall season. And just think about warm in terms of the actual warmth. So like something like a molten lava cake would be really good. Caramel is a really good autumn thing. Just seems autumny, you know, probably just because I'm associating it with caramel apples, but it seems autumny to me. So things like that are really fun to add into your baking repertoire once the seasons switch. So just like you're switching out your summer clothes for your fall clothes, you can switch out your summer recipes for your fall recipes. And it doesn't have to stop at baking either. So I kind of was talking mostly about baking there, but I also love to switch up my dinners with fall things. So stuff like Brussels sprouts. I know it's not everybody's favorite, but I do really like Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts are a really good fall thing that you can include in your vegetable repertoire to get you some extra veggies and a little fall flavor in there. Anything roasted is automatically fall in my book. And things that are like hearty and warm, like stews and soups and chicken pot pie, things like that. Warm things are excellent for fall. Anything that makes you feel cozy. And also I love adding butternut squash into things, or acorn squash into things. That's another really fall flavor. It's similar to pumpkin because of course pumpkin is a squash. I don't necessarily use pumpkin in a lot of cooking applications. I have used it in macaroni and cheese. I used it in macaroni and cheese last year when I had a little bit extra left over from my pies. But I do like to use butternut squash and sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a fantastic fall ingredient to use. Cranberries, nuts are a fantastic fall ingredient. So there's a lot that you can do in your cooking to bring those flavors of the fall in. And it's so fun. So also, moving on past food, driving the scenic route is something that I really like to do in the fall. So this is something that I started a long time ago when I worked about 45 minutes away from home, which I work about 45 minutes away from home now too, but this way, it was going the other way. It was the other direction. But there was one particular back way that I would take, that if I took that way, I would see more trees and more scenery and less highway. And so I really, really loved driving that way in the fall, because the fall colors on the trees were just so beautiful. And even now, I have a back way that I can take to go to work if I'm not super concerned about how quickly I'm getting to and from work. That does have more, it's more scenic. And so when the colors start to change, I'm driving through more trees than I am highway. And so I can see all of that. And that to me is a way that I can savor the season a little bit, even on a work day, you know, even if I'm not able to go out and do something special that day, I can still enjoy the season. So, you know, find those little moments where you can just enjoy the fact that it's fall and see the beauty in it. And then also there's fall activities. Fall activities, I think, are maybe, barring Christmas, I think fall activities are maybe the best as far as the selection of activities you can have. Well, actually, now I'm thinking about summer too, and maybe I'm wrong. We'll say that spring is the least, but fall does have some really good activities. One of those activities is apple picking. So I really, really love even just the idea of apple picking, not even so much the actual going to pick the apples, but just the idea of it. I think it's a really fun date day. It doesn't have to be a date. You can go with a group of friends, but I do think it's a really fun autumn date. So if you're into themed date nights, with your, you know, husband or boyfriend or girlfriend, or, you know, if you're into themed dates, think apple picking, because apple picking is really fun. Plus, you can probably pick up some really amazing apple cider there to make your warm apple cider, and you can pick up apples to make all your yummy apple baked treats. And also, on top of all of that, you can try different types of apples. So different apples, this is one thing that you would want to look into if you do decide you want to go apple picking and you never have. Different apples are in season at different points, like within a few weeks of each other. So it's not like, you know, you have to go in the summer to get this particular type of apple and go in the winter to get this type. But different apples are in season at different points with the orchards. So you just want to do a little bit of research. You can call them if you're one of those weird people who actually likes to talk on the phone. I'm not. If you're like me, you can go online and they will probably have a list posted online for you of when each section of their orchard will be open for picking. But you can try different kinds of apples, like apples that you didn't even know existed, or apples that maybe you've just never tasted before, and you can try them and see if you like them, and, you know, see what you come up with. So apple picking is a big one for me. There's also things like pumpkin patches, which is pretty much the same difference in my mind. But pumpkin patches are really fun, a really great activity to do if you have small kids with you. The zoo in the fall, because it's nicer weather. In my estimation, it's nicer weather than in the summer because it's not super, super hot. So the zoo in the fall is fun. A lot of the pumpkin patches that you can go to too, just going back to that, they do have like corn mazes and stuff like that. So there's a lot of fun that you can have at a place like that. And usually the admission fees aren't very much at all. So that's something fun that you can do. Also, bonfires. Like, you can have a bonfire at your house in most places. Or you can, you know, gather up some friends and go somewhere else for a bonfire, but they're just really fun and they're really good for the fall. You can do a bonfire in the summer too, of course, but I like them in the fall because it's a little bit chillier outside. So you actually need the heat from the bonfire to kind of warm you up, and it's, you know, it's fun. And of course it gets darker earlier in the fall, so it's a little bit easier to have them if you're somebody who needs to not be going to sleep at midnight. So, and then of course, obviously bonfires mean s'mores and roasted hot dogs and all of that good stuff. And I'm sure that there are tons of other fall activities that I probably did not think about, but fall is just such a fun time. It really is such a fun time, and I enjoy it when it starts to shift from summer into fall, because I don't have to wear a jacket yet, but I also am not super hot, so I really like that. And if you're someone with long hair, you can take advantage of wearing your hair down because you're not ridiculously hot every day. So that is also a really good benefit of the fall. So these are just my little thoughts of fall things that you can do and enjoy this season. And I hope that you did like this video. And if you did, please leave me a like or a comment, because it helps out the channel. And I will be, of course, doing one of these videos for the winter. It might have to be like 3 different videos because that's my time. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys are having a fantastic day and enjoy the upcoming fall.